One of the biggest reasons woodworking businesses fail isn't bad work, it's bad pricing. And this goes for the trades as well, you know. People are massively undercharging for their work. Not by a little bit either, sometimes half. And the crazy thing is, most people don't even realise that they're doing it. So in this video, I'm going to explain how pricing actually works in a real woodworking shop. And the mistake most people make is surprisingly simple. So let's look at the common pricing mistakes, right? If you go on the internet and you go on Facebook or in some of these woodworking groups, pop on some forums, you see these pricing posts all the time. And what you tend to get back is a variation on like 3 or 4 different things. So the first one I see quite a lot is materials times 2. So what they'll do, say for example, is 100 quid's worth of materials, they'll double it and say, right, an additional £200 on top, so it's going to be 300 quid for the job. Or even worse, what they'll do is they'll misunderstand it and they'll go materials times 2. So if the materials are 100 quid, they'll charge you £200 for the job. Some people will say, you need to charge what you feel is fair. Like, can you imagine if a business like Tesco's or Home Depot or somebody like that charged what they thought was fair instead of what they needed to charge to cover their margins? You can copy other people on Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, all those sorts of places. You can go say, right, I'm going to build this table, looks sort of like theirs. I'll take their price and I'll go somewhere in the middle. Or what a lot of people do is they charge what they would personally pay. And there's a lot of work you can do on this, right? But obviously what you really need to do is look at who your avatar is, the ideal person that you're selling to, and then you would charge what they would pay. And so all of that works as if it's a hobby, right? You're doing it out your garage, just a little bit of beer money, something like that. And if you're running a business, that isn't going to work, all right? And one thing I've noticed time and time again in all the years I've run my business, right? Woodworking, the trades, all of that is relatively easy. It's the pricing that is a problem. And you can have an amazing tradesman, but they're not particularly good at running a business. And this is something I've touched on a couple of other videos where I think that, you know, these are the skills that I think kids need to be learning when they're going through their apprenticeships, not just how to cut a roof, how to install a door or something like that. The thing that people forget are the hidden costs. Now, depending where you are and how you work, that could be your rent, could be electricity, could be certain overheads, could be things like your machine wear, your blade wear, your cutter wear, could be your sandpaper, your finishes. How many pieces of sandpaper are you using to finish that unit off? And it's what, like £2 a sheet? Are you insured? Are you dealing with your taxes correctly? Do you take into account your quoting time, you know, contacting customers, doing all your admin? When somebody says to you they charge £20 an hour or $20 an hour, they're usually forgetting half the costs that their workshop, garage, whatever it is that they're using needs. So there's a simple pricing structure that I use when I'm pricing up jobs, and there's 4 main points to it, okay? You have your materials, you have your labor, you have your overheads, and you have your margins. Now the thing is, your materials and labor are obvious. Your overheads are the hidden costs of the workshop, and a margin is what actually keeps the business alive. One thing I hear all the time is it's good to be busy, right? But busy businesses aren't necessarily profitable. Right, okay, so we've got our material and our labor costs. These are the simple ones. Everybody remembers these. Then we have the problematic ones that people are starting to forget, right? We have our overheads, and then we have our profit or our margin. Now, the vast majority of people that I speak to about pricing, they never do a profit or a margin on there. Quite often, they will forget that overheads. And it's these 2 things here that are really costing everybody money. So let's do a quick calculation, right? Something nice and easy. So say, for example, we've got materials. We've got £100 worth of materials in that job. Then we've got our labor, right? So we've got 2 hours worth of labor in that. So we're going to put £50 an hour. So we're going to do another 100 quid. Then we have our overheads, right? This is the break-even point is what I would call it for your workshop, your business, everything like that. So let's just say, for example, your break-even point for the day is £50, okay? Then we've got a total there of 250 quid. Then we want a profit or a margin. So that can range anything from 20% up to 50%. I tend to look to 50% depending on the job. So we go at 50%. So that's 250 times that by 1.5, and that equals £375, okay? So you might be asking me, right, what does this 1.5 or this 50% there for? The whole point of your margin, right, is for your investment. So it's your investment, your cash flow, your training, your tool upgrades. And if you don't have this, your margin at 50% or 20%, whatever it is, then these bits and pieces here are going to have to come out of your labor rate. So then you're losing out over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at hobby pricing. What hobbyist is going to do, right? So they're going to take, well, they're going to sit there and say, right, that £100, what we're going to do is we're going to times that by 2. That's going to be 200 quid. And that's what we're going to sell the product for. But they have no margin. They have no investment. They have no money put in by for cash flow. They have nothing. And this is where you're going to get screwed up because you're not running a business. What you're doing is you're just paying for materials and a bit of time, but nothing else. No future proofing on the business. So then, why do trades undercharge? Let's be honest, right? Things are hard at the moment. It's difficult to run a business. So there's the fear of losing out on the work, which is especially a problem if you need the money to come in. You know, you've got family to look after, bills to pay, like, I get it. But the problem is if you go too far along that line, all you're going to end up doing is screwing yourself over and taking food out your family's mouths. There's the race to the bottom, right? Man, I hate the race to the bottom, especially in the UK at the moment, seems to think that they're winning by doing somebody else over. You know, somebody says, oh, I'll do that job for 1,500 quid. Somebody says, I'll do 1,250, 1,000, 800. And the guy who's doing 800 seems to think that he's doing better than everybody else. When over here, that 1,500 quid, that guy was earning nearly double what he was going to earn. So you've got to be careful with your pricing, right? And what you need to make sure that you're doing is you're doing it correctly. You might feel that you're competing with hobbyists, especially if you're running a woodworking business. You know, you might be making signs or furniture, something to go outdoors, and you think, well, you know, they're just doing it for 20 bucks, 20 quid, so that's what I'm going to have to price it at. But if you're good at what you do, should you not be charging your worth? Like, is there something wrong with that? Isn't it weird, right, how people have a little bit of an ick over, oh, I hate the term ick, but it really is a little bit of an ick over charging what they're worth as opposed to what they think people should pay for something. And then lastly, but not least, there's the difference between job A and job B. So when I price up a job, I always do a spec, right? Everything's on price. I don't itemize the bill too much, but everything is done on a spec. And then that way the client can see I'm using this material, this fix, these glues, this, that, and the other, right? And then what they can do is then that gives them the opportunity to correctly compare my quote to somebody else's. And quite a lot of the time, it's apples for oranges, right? It's not apples for apples. I know a lot of tradespeople out there would rather stay busy than charging the correct amount. Because like I said before, if they think they're busy, then they're doing really well. But that's, you know, you can always be a busy fool. Something else I might catch a bit of smack for, right, is that cheap work, in my opinion, is always more expensive in the long run. What people tend to do is they look at the three quotes, they go for the cheapest or the middle one, at the moment usually the cheapest one, because they think that's going to be the better option, when really what they should be doing is comparing the spec on the jobs to see what's what, and then speak to the builders who are going to say what's what, so that they can get a proper view about what's going on in the job and why the price is this as opposed to this. And the last thing I'll say on that, right, is if somebody else over here is charging 1,500 quid and this guy's charging 800 quid, you really need to ask the question, what is he cutting corners on? Is it time, labour, skills, materials, what, that can make him nearly half the price of this guy over here? So if you do struggle with this, I popped a link down in the description where you can pop your email address in and I'll email you over a spreadsheet that I use. It's super simple, nice and easy, and it's free. So check the link out below. So you've got to remember, right, if you want to run a business, you can't be pricing it up like a hobbyist. Understanding your costs, your overheads, your materials, your labour, your margins, all of it, right? Between staying busy and actually making money. And if you're constantly busy, right, but you're struggling financially, then pricing is probably one of your issues that you've got going on at the moment.